everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video. So for those of you that didn't watch the previous videos on the ex-fleet vehicles that we purchased out of that company, I did a video recently earlier last week and I said that I'd been on the phone to them and they did have a couple of bits for us to look at. So I left a bit of a bid for them and our bid has been accepted. Now, it's no surprise, you're going to see it in the thumbnail, we have bought a truck and we've also bought a van. But there is a bit of a story with the van. We have bought it as a non-runner. So I'll get more into it once we've picked them up, we get back to the yard and we'll have a good look round them. He got back quicker than me there, Chris. He must be desperate to find out what the problem is with this little van. Let's get straight to it. Cool, you didn't hang about, mate. What's the verdict up there?
Flat battery.
Oh, well, we'll make that our first priority. So guys, this is the little non-runner van. Now, like I've said previously, we leave bids on these vehicles and other people have left bids on them as well. The guy that's selling them, he doesn't know what's wrong with them. He just says they either run or they don't run. And he said, I have no idea what's wrong with it. It is a non-runner. And straight away, Chris has found the battery's dead, but we don't know how long it has been sat where it was sat. It certainly wasn't there last time we went to pick the vans up, so we have no idea what is wrong with it. It's very nice, tidy and straight van considering the state of the last one, but yeah, this one is quite nice. It's done quite high mileage as well, I believe, but it's going to need a good clean. It's a Vauxhall combo, but I believe they're a Fiat. They are just a copy of a Fiat van, and it is twin door crew van with rear seats in it, which is lovely. Door the other side as well. I've never seen one with two doors on it. Normally it is just the one door. Oh, there's a set of jump leads there and some sort of spray. Some of this sometimes can give you a little idea or a bit of a giveaway. There's an extension lead there as well. But does look quite a nice little van. What we'll do is we'll get that battery charged. Chris has got that fast charger, so we'll get that charged up. We'll have a cup of coffee. We'll get that back on there and see what it comes up with. Battery's had half hour on the charger. I went and picked up the coffees. Chris has just chucked the battery back on, but I am going to chuck the booster on it just to give it a little bit extra. And we're going to wang it over and see if it's a runner and find out what is actually wrong with it, because he said it is a non-runner. So keep your fingers crossed for us. Let's give it a go. Mate, shall I bring the camera up here, I think, while you're wanging it? Yeah. Show as much as we can. Oh, sorry about the funny angle there, guys. I had to jump up the truck. Yeah, go on, mate. Give it a couple of glows, Chris. Sorry. It's not going out. Glow plug light's not staying on. Might take a long time. We don't know how long it's sat there for. Dodgy glow plug. Is it? Just give it a minute. It does the emissions. Has it gone out? Yeah, just try it. The runner. Oh. There's a little tiny ringing in that. It's probably quite noisy there, guys, so I'm just going to move that down for a sec. You just got a full tank. Full tank. Sounds alright. You get it off. Fine. Let me rev it. I heard a little ringing noise. Good. So turn it off to unload it. Leave it running. I'm going to flick you over and we're actually going to unload this now. What a result. It can't just be a dead battery. Glow plugs. Glow plugs, Chris just said. The light's not going out. We actually got quite excited there. Chris said, Rob, I think this is just going to want a set of glow plugs and a good clean and we can get it out the door. But we've just rolled it off the back of the truck. Dip the clutch, please, mate. Got nothing there, have you? Guys, the clutch is gone. To be honest, there was no way we was getting away with just glow plugs, mate. It is better than the engine. Worst way, we thought this might need an engine, but the clutch is completely gone. He's putting his... I'll actually come right inside here. It's got nothing at all, is it? Yeah. Start it in gear. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Don't actually try this, guys, but Chris is going to try and start it in gear, just see if it moves. Yeah. So it drives, it is obviously clutch. Yeah, the release bearings collapsed. Well, we'll know more, won't we? Because we're going to actually have to put a clutch in it.
Yeah, possibly it's just the thrust, though, the hydraulic.
If it's external rather than internal. Oh, it's a bit of a boo-boo, isn't it? That's bad news on the van, and the coffee weren't much better either. It was very, very reasonably priced because it was a non-runner, so you have to expect the worst. And like Chris just said, we said worst way, we're going to have to buy an engine for it, and it turns out the engine's actually fine. So let's move on. Stop there for a brief chat, and we are going to put this on the list of things to do. It's better to have too much than not enough, and we have got quite a bit of stock now, so that's something we'll be getting on with very, very soon. So moving on to the other vehicle that we purchased. As you can see, it is a new shape 2015 flatbed transit truck rather, and very, very nice it is too. You would have seen I was actually in this following Chris driving it home, and it drives like a car. It drives beautiful. It's not without its faults, it's not without its marks and dinks. It has been used, so we have got quite a few little jobs to be getting on with. There is a little bit of damage on the edge of that door. We're not going to be getting into a paint shop with this truck. We'll be dressing that up and then covering up the exposed metal so that it can go out the door as soon as possible. it is going to need a nice clean up, but it does have a nice long 14-foot bed on it. It is the long wheelbase twin wheel Transit, and I can't stress enough how nice this drives. The only fault I could find driving it home was the fact that it's got a warning light on, and I believe that it's actually brake pads, and it is going to need another hefty clean. It has got loads of service history, it's been really well looked after, and again the grill's popped out there, and it's got a couple of little marks around that wheel arch and a little tiny dent, but overall a very, very nice truck. We're going to get this one straight in and do a bit of an appraisal of what we need to do and crack on with this one, because we know it runs and drives, and the sooner we get it done, the sooner it goes out the door. And I've just noticed, Chris, what are you up to, mate?
Nothing.
That's got quite a nice strobe light on it, and he wants it for his truck. He did mention it, and before we've even done anything, he's whipping it off. Let's get on with this Transit. So very quickly got the wheel off and established that they are very, very low indeed, and you can see I've actually worn down the sensor. And the object of that sensor is, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to get the new one out. I've just whipped and got a new set of pads. They had two different types. They had a cheap set and they had these decent Apex ones, and they was about £4 different, so I've got the decent ones. So that is your wear sensor there, and basically as they work down, they touch the wear sensor and it actually earths it. There's a piece of metal in there, it earths on the disc, and that throws up your light to say that your pads are low, which is quite a good idea. It stops you running down to the bare metal. So then brake pads come with the wear sensors. Chris has just took the lip off the edge. There was a little bit of a lip on the discs, and it's just to prevent any excess heat or wear on those new pads. And as long as you are within the tolerances of the wear markers on the disc, it's always best to just take that edge off anyway. So he's done that. We're going to move on. Flip, I believe he's already undone that bottom bolt he has there. So we'll undo that. We'll flip the caliper up. You don't actually need to take the caliper off on these vehicles. You can leave it on one. You can take it off if you want to. So we're going to flip that up, use the winding tool, wind the pistons back, fit the new pads, fit the new wear sensor, and bolt it all back together. So that's new front brake pads, all fitted, and the wear sensor. Very, very straightforward to do. At first, I couldn't actually lift the caliper up, and Chris said, yeah, you can hear it, it's getting caught on the back of one of these little pins. So we did manage to get that unhooked and we got it out. They do come with anti-squeal pads on the back of them, these pads. So they do say copper slip's a bit of a thing of the past, but we still do like to put a little piece on there. I recently done a set on a Range Rover and they squealed like hell, so it's best to just stick a little bit on the back of them anyway. Why I have been doing that, I'm going to move on to the other side in a minute. I don't need to show that twice. Chris, you would have seen wandering around, coming past me. He's had a good look at this, and this is caused by the bottom hinge has actually come loose. So in a minute we're going to have to get in there, take the kick plate out, get that tightened back up and positioned where it needs to be. He's also just going around, you can see a couple of the hinges are actually missing off the drop sides. He has managed to dig a couple out, you can see there. So he's just going around doing all the maintenance, getting everything all working and trying to get it all back together how it should be. we want to try and tackle all of the little issues and problems that this truck has got in this video. Hopefully get it all working very, very nicely. Let's get on and do the brakes the other side. Job number 1 all done. New pads, new wear sensors. So we're quite happy with that now. And the light went straight out as soon as I started it. Chris has just straightened out the edge of this and he's going along breaking up all of the stuff that's got caught in it over the years, because we are going to need to slide this all the way along this runner to get to here. So I won't film any of this because it is quite noisy. He's got hammer and chisel and he's just breaking it up. I've just stripped out the smallest wheel arch liner in the weld. That is all it had up under there, and I've managed to crack both of those hinge bolts off for the bottom one, and I have loosened the wing as well. And I loosened those bolts because it was pulled out, and now I've loosened them. As soon as you push it, it does go back where it should be. But the door is no longer dropped. It's opening and closing, lovely. Chris has done that hinge, that's all done now. And he was just sitting here looking, and I said, could we take them bolts off? What's it going to be like underneath? Because although these are still quite good, they are broken up and worn, and we want to, they're tatty, yeah, so right, that's the word I was looking for, Chris, thank you. And he just said, yeah, do you know what, let's actually remove this board and see what the floor's like underneath, because if we've got a nice new floor under that, we're going to have landed on our feet. So we're just going to lift one up, check what they're like. We know that they're going to need a clean, but Chris just give this a quick wipe and it looks like one of them hard wearing black floors. So we'll get one of these off, I'll cut back in and show you what it looks like. We've unbolted that rack that was at the back of the bulkhead there. It's no good, so we've just unbolted it. I ain't quite sure what we do with it, and we managed to get one board out. Now we're not actually, there's a good chance that could go back in. What we decided to do is actually just give this a quick rinse off and see what it does come up like. If it's quite nice, then we'll be going with this floor. If it's not, we're just going to put that board back down. It was hoping it did have a nice new floor underneath. It hasn't. At some point, it has had that board fitted. But we're still, Chris, you just said, that's soaking wet. And it's really heavy, isn't it? So we're going to have all of that out. There's no need for it to be in there. This is quite a hard wearing floor. But we're not going to do any more. We've just cleaned that patch. We're going to save that for the clean up video. So we're just going to crack on and continue doing all these little jobs that we need to do on these drop sides. So like I said, we're not going to town on this one, and it's not going to the body shop. It does only have minor marks around it, and we have just messed around with that. Chris has straightened out that door. I removed the wing, he got the edge of that straight. We've put it back on, and we've given the bare metal a light coat of the right colour white. As soon as that dries out, we'll move on and give that a couple of more small coats. It is only a little bit, so that's that sorted. Round this side, I've just put some new clips in that wheel arch and got those back in. Again, there's a tiny little dent there, but it's not really worth us getting involved and knocking that out because it's going to end up marking the paint. This here, you can see, is just residue from duct tape. So we'll get a bit of thinners on that and wipe that off, and we'll do all that in the cleaning video. But we've pulled it together pretty quick today, and I've just done an Instagram post and told you guys we're going to put out the extra video, and quite a lot of you are excited about it. So let's get it done. So another little video there, pulled out of the app quite quickly. We just got straight on with it. We need to get these done and get them turned around. So we are sitting in the Transit. I know I haven't shown a lot of the inside of it today, but for us, we have to be careful. Like, we don't want to give away the next video kind of thing. I'm sure that makes sense to quite a lot of you anyway. The little combo van, I was quite disappointed when I heard the clutch was gone. And then after we sat down, had a coffee, had a bit of a chat, Chris was like, changing the clutch is a lot better than us trying to source an engine and change that as well. So really, it ain't that bad of a job to do, and I'm quite looking forward to doing it now. We will put, we don't know, I thought it might have been the slave cylinder. Chris said he thinks that it's thrust bearing, and it is quite noisy. So regardless of that, it's going to end up with a full clutch kit in it anyway. But on the little van, the transit truck that we're doing today, drop your comments in the comment section down below. I know I do normally always wait till the very, very end before I do the numbers and say what we want for the van, the truck. But this is going to be a quick turnaround. We've probably got one more video doing the cleanup on it, and it is going to be ready to go. And we are going to ask £8,000 for this truck. There's no VAT to pay, it's £8,000. And that kind of, I'm putting that out there now because people always say I never give the whole audience the option. Like the Volkswagen Transporter, there were some people disappointed that I'd sold it to my friend, but I am putting it out there now. It is going to be ready by the end of the week, and it is £8,000. And I know that if I put it online, I will get that for it easy. The cheapest, nearest one I could find to it had done a lot more miles, and it's on eBay for £10,000 plus VAT. So it's going to be a little bargain for someone, as usual. Everything we do, we try and do at a bargain price. Now, that is going to be the end of today's video. There was loads and loads of little bits I was thinking of throughout the day that I needed to add into this video, but I just physically can't remember them. It's been quite a long day already, so we are going to leave it there. As usual, drop your comments in the comment section. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram for some little sneak peeks throughout the day. Check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. That was one of the things. The merchandise guy said that he'd sold quite a lot of merchandise this month. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody for your support there. We do earn a little bit out of that merchandise, and it really does help support the channel. So thank you everybody that's bought some merchandise. Don't forget, please like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you tomorrow in the next one.